Now I guess I'm going to start, I don't know, I might start right here and go left to right. But before I do, I'm just going to kind of pull this back with some masking tape so I don't get it up against the base, and I want to try to caulk it as best I can up next to the baseboard, but I don't want to get it on my carpet. So I just thought of this before I started. I thought, hey, why not just get it out of the way, okay? Like that. Wow, I can get it right down into the corner, into the nitty gritty. Okay, then I can pull the masking tape off after that dries. Okay, and I guess I'm going to have to do it over on the left-hand side too. But like I say, I'm not gonna caulk this today. I'm going to let that dry because I cleaned it off and I used the little WD-40 as I was cleaning, and I want that stuff to dry all the way. Okay, so I guess I can start here. I'll start here. Here's one more thing. Before I start caulking, the most important tools you're going to have when you're caulking is your fingers. You want to keep these clean when you're wiping the caulking and stuff, because if you get this built up too much, then that's going to make your caulking not lay flat and all that kind of stuff. And normally, I don't use this siliconized based caulking for baseboards and stuff, but because I am, it doesn't clean off my hands as easily as the Alex Plus. I used to use this, and then I would wipe it, and then I could clean all this stuff up, and then I would just use my hands and wipe the extra caulking right here, just so it was nice and quick. And then I would take a bucket and my little sponge it off, dry my hands, and go some more. But this stuff kind of sticks, and you know, I'll clean it off. And so this time, I'm going to take some paper towel with me, and I'll keep wiping off the excess with the paper towel. You know, is there always two ways to do stuff? Yes. And we want to do it the right way, don't we? I always like to make sure my tip is clean, and it is. And see, even with me starting, after I put this in, it just has a natural tendency to twist on me. And so now, because I have that black line, I can tell that that's where the point is. That's where I want to hold it. And the trick is to just get a thin bead. And once you get it started, now I can just keep going in one go. I'm gonna go a little bit further here. See, I'm just going in one go. And right there, I saw that I went a little fast and it slid and skipped on me. Okay, just a little bit there, but I'm gonna have some excess on my hands after a while. When I do this, when I go from left to right, I'm going to use my left hand, my left finger. If I go from right to left, I'm not going to try to backhand it with the same finger. I'm going to go with my right finger, my right hand. You know what I mean? That way, I've always got it at the same angle. If you see that you're starting to build up, take some off. You don't want it to build up. And I'm holding the pressure about the same. I can close my eyes, and I would tell how much pressure to put on. You know what I mean? I'm just putting the same amount of pressure on there, and because I've got my paper towel this time, I'm wiping it off. And the trick is, once you do it, you don't want to do much more, but I've got right around this little corner, and I'm just going to put just a little dab here. There's a little mark there, and I want to get that covered. Okay. Come on. I really don't want to mess with it any more than I have to. Because the more you mess with it, the more chance that something's gonna, I can see right there that I can wipe off just a hair more. Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna go some more. And that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna continue to do on down this row here, okay? And you can't necessarily see exactly on this, but you can kind of see how I'm doing it. And because I'm backhanding, I'm just gonna continue to backhand. I don't want to try to go right here and then keep going to the right, because then I'm not putting it on at the same consistency. You know what I mean? You'll get a rhythm and you'll have an idea how much to put on. You don't want to put too much on. Okay? It's building up, so I'm going to take that off. That's the key, man. If you don't take it off, it builds up on your finger and you try to press down on it, and then you get it spooged way down on your base, on your baseboard, okay? On your trim, whatever. Okay? And I've got that amount done, and it seems as though I'm just gonna do this whole wall this same way. Oh, I can hardly see where I ended. I like to use two hands. Some painters, I'll see them with one hand, but I want to keep it right on that inside groove. Now see, I don't want to go any further than this. I could, and then go back over this way and all that, but then I don't get the same bit of caulking on there, you know? Just do it the same every time. If you go from right to left, you'll get the hang of it that way. And lots of times I'll have to go from right to left. I gotta go from right to left at the end of this wall. Okay? At the end of the wall, I'll have to go right to left. Same pressure on the base and on the quarter round. Wipe it off. Make sure your fingers stays pretty clean and flat. Okay? I don't want to pinch my finger down in there and press out all of it, because I want a nice layer on there, right? I want it even, and I don't want it to spooge out too far on the base or on the quarter round. Okay, so I'll keep going here this way. And that's working with a little paper towel, sliding that along. Okay, here we go. Now I don't want to reach too far and all that. I clean my tip. If there's anything on there that needs to be cleaned off, make sure my tip is angled the right direction. Don't pull it too fast. Don't be in a rush. You know, this is plenty fast. You go any faster, it starts skipping on you. Or you can have a tendency of putting it on too much. Okay? You don't want that. You see anything hard about this? I don't. If I have any joints, any nail heads, inside corners, outside corners, I'm going to do those last. Okay? I'm going to concentrate on getting the top edge of the quarter round to the base done first. And then I'll come back. Okay? And I could start from the right to left with my right finger, but because I've gone this far, I'm just going to keep going. I usually use my right finger. You know? But I don't, if I would have started from right to left, I could go with my right finger, but then if you come back and you reach up here and go with your same finger, now your finger is at a different angle and you have a tendency of not putting it on exactly at the same angle. Okay? See, from there I could use my right finger and just go to where I stopped. Okay? Like that. And like I say, you don't want to mess with it. There's only so much you want to do, because as it's drying, if you see something you think, oh, I need to fix that, and you go like this, you'll see what happens. It starts dragging and that kind of thing. Okay? And that's the last thing you want to do, is have your caulking to start dragging on you. I'm just going to get you over here. Okay? Like that. So see, now I'm going from right to left, and I'm just going to start here. Okay, I'm not going to go any further for right now. Making sure I got it at the same angle. See, it started sliding right there. It does that. Sometimes it just does. Well, we got some slick surfaces here. I'm trying to keep it at the same angle. If it builds up too much, you'll feel it on your finger. You can wipe that off. Because trust me, if you don't do that, you're not going to get it looking as nicely as you could have. Okay? Now, since we're right here, I'm going to do this little section. And you'll know about how much you need to put on there. And as you're pulling it, if there's a little low spot, your finger's going to get right in there. From a little bit of buildup, and it went into another little area there. Okay? And you see? Okay, I'll just leave the camera right there. And like I said, all I'm doing is concentrating on that top edge. Okay? I don't care. I don't care about nails. The little trim nail that I put in there, or the inside corners, or the outside corners right now, or the very end piece. I see it. I want to wipe that off. Make sure that's nice and clean. And I'm just going to do that tip again. Now I can kind of go around that. I'm just going to back up. I'm not even going to wipe that down yet. It slid on me, so now I'm going to put just a little bit there. And it might look like, oh, this is never going to line up very well on this one, but it will. It will. Okay, so from right there, now I'm going to go from left to right at the same angle. Get that on there. Okay, now wipe that. I've got that buildup. Don't want to get too much on there. Now, if I want, and you see one little area that needs to be re-wiped, you can go back, see? Like that. Now it's slightly built up, not a whole lot. Okay, there. That's all you have to do. That's it. Okay? Now I can go back. And this one looks pretty tight along that inside edge, but it still has a black line, because whenever you put trim up and it's wiped, wherever it touches, it's going to show a black line, no matter what. No matter what. Because I have a small tip, I'm going to look down there, and I'm not going to go all the way down to the floor. I'm going to try to be up above the floor just a little, and I want to clean a little bit of that off my screwdriver. Now I can get my finger down there as tight as I can, down at the bottom, and see what that looks like. And maybe fix it just a little with my screwdriver. Hardly anything. Okay, that's all I'm going to do on that little bit. See, I didn't get any on there. You just be careful. You know, don't go too fast. See, I've got just a hair down here at the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and use just a smidge here. It's built up. Wipe that off, clean it off, and now I can use this. That's almost like painting, like I'm painting with my finger. Okay, like that. I take my screwdriver and see if I got any on the floor, and son of a gun, I didn't even really hit the floor. If you do hit the floor, take your screwdriver and clean off that little bit, because there's a slight gap between the trim and the flooring. You want to keep that line nice and clean. You don't want caulking over that, do you? I don't. Okay, so I put a couple little nails here to hold it from before. So now it's time to caulk it. And I try not to rub the whole thing one direction, because it has a tendency to want to drag off. So I try to go from the middle, and then from the middle this way, and from the middle that way. Okay? And I don't want to mess with it too much. I think I'm gonna just touch it a little bit more, clean off the excess. Look at that, see how you like it, and move on. Don't get too worked up about it. Okay? You can get this stuff cleaned off it. Wipe off your fingers. Get that off so that you still have nice smooth finger for the next bit that you're going to do. Okay, so now I'm doing these little inside corners here. Let's make sure that you can see that. I think you can see it from there, can't you? Well, yeah, kinda. And like I say, even if those corners were 100% perfect, I'm still going to put a dusting over it. That's why I got to get my head down here, because I'm trying to caulk above the base, above the flooring by a 1/16 or so, and then go up. That way, I'm hoping not to have to get too much on the floor. Now I can just push my finger right down tight to the floor and move it up. Get that off. Go from the top down. Try to keep all that off. Okay. Now I can look at that bottom section, and I just hardly touch that at all. And I think I'm going to leave it right like that. Okay? That one looks pretty good. just like that. And I'm good to go on those two. Okay, you don't have to do a whole lot. And now I'm gonna come back on this wall and see. I thought I had another nail somewhere on it, but I don't think I do. I think it was a joint. Now, oh, there it is, right down there. There's hardly any mark at it at all. So I'm gonna have to look at it, make a determination. Should I put some caulking here or not? It looks like just a line. I'm gonna put just a little. And I don't need much. Okay, I'm just gonna use my finger, kind of as a paintbrush, so to speak, and then try to get it off. Just make a little line of it. Okay, and when it dries, it should be fine. That's all I'm gonna do with that. And I think there was another joint. Oh yeah, there's another one. You see, this stuff was 8 feet long. It's right about there. Oh, here comes my supervisor. She's checking stuff out now. Just don't step in the caulking because okay. Let me make the attempt. When you feel you can't do any better, just leave it. Don't mess with it too much. Okay? All right. I mean, how long did that take, really? See, I've got it right there in the corner. And this is all nicely done, this one little section. And so now I've got to remember to leave that masking tape there, just like that, until this caulking dries and skins over. Then I can kind of lift that over. This will skin over in probably, oh, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, depending on your weather conditions, your heat, how hot it is in your house. If it's freezing cold, yeah, it's going to take longer. This is not gonna set up until overnight. Okay. And to remember, I've got the caulking underneath that too. So now I've got 2 layers of caulking holding that quarter round down. I mean, yeah, if somebody got a shovel from underneath and lifted it up, it would have a tendency to want to swivel up. But nobody's going to do that. It's down for looks. It's down to finish the flooring. Doesn't that look nice? It just looks all nicely done, and you did it yourself, and it didn't really cost us that much, did it? For the quarter round and for the little back saw that I was showing you and the little plastic miter box that I used to cut it, and my really important tool, my rasp. Okay, got to get one of those. If you don't have a nice sharp one, it's not going to work too well. And you know, take your time, and it's going to look nice. And you did it yourself. If somebody would install just the quarter round on just this room, well, down this floor, down on the first floor, okay, all the stuff that I did, and in the bathroom, up in here, and in that storage room, and all that, and had to come back and clean it off and caulk it, and all that. I don't know how much they would charge you. $250? Maybe more. And that probably wouldn't even include, oh yeah, way more than that, sorry. I'm going to guess $400, $450. Maybe even more than that. Because it's tedious, it's time consuming, and it needs to look nice when it's all done, and it's got to be caulked, and you can't just do it in a day, okay? And I mean, look how clean that looks without the nails. And if you had, speaking of nails, because this quarter round is so small, I mean, we use 5/8 quarter round instead of 3/4 inch, okay? But Can you imagine trying to get your brad nail gun down there exactly where you need to go, especially if your baseboard is above your flooring by 1/4 inch? You've got 3/8 of an inch from the top of your quarter round to the bottom of your baseboard. So you've got to raise it up, and you're barely hitting that. You could have a tendency to split the top of your quarter round off. If you get the nail down too far, it's going to go underneath your baseboard, or it's going to hit the last 1/8 inch of your base or 1/16 of an inch of your bottom of your baseboard. It's going to split that off, and it's not going to hold very, very nicely. You see what I'm saying? I mean, for many reasons, you might want to think about doing it the way I'm showing you on this whole video series. If you haven't watched the rest of this video series, I don't know what part this is going to be. This might be part 5 or 6 for all I know. Watch the whole thing. Get a few laughs along the way, but you take a look at this after this. Well, after it dries, it doesn't even have to dry. You just take a look at it now. Doesn't that look nice? I mean, come on. You save yourself a lot of money by doing it yourself and doing it so it looks right.